Man, it's a good thing that I'm flexible. If you've been watching long enough, you know that my best move is to be reaching around, painting black targets on my back so the next stack finds me accessible. An open book, if you're looking for a thread to pull, you might find your free time finally eventful. But as you pull and pull, just know that at the end of the thread, you might not like what you have exposed. Yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't hide in your parents' attic. I take the baddest that all I hear is speaking problematic. Picking apart to every single word like it's a habit, and not by the manufacture the truth to push status. It's a passion for pain, a fashion of rage, a lack of shame that only makes you a flesh and pain. Can you imagine a day with actual sane and sober individuals, pitiful as bashing the brains? Some men just like to watch the world burn on the same stage, never learn, never grow up, safe face, never show you will know them by the way they had it hold up. And if they ever finally shoot me in the back, they'll have to admit that they were always behind me, firing blindly, trying to find an attack that would leave a mark while admiring my scraps.
The only thing you ever made is people angry. Only human contribution is your silence. Kinda funny how you think that you're a movement, beating up your neighbor while you're saying words of violence. I guess now you thought the public school system failed you. You were trained for the jail and the military. Still drinking the Kool-Aid that you were too crave. I'm thinking for myself and I know that that's scary.
All your mirrors are broken. You can't see yourself. Yeah, since you just wanna be noticed, take your shit to show and tell. I know you're scared all the other kids in the class might laugh at you like you've been doing to everybody else. So keep on being soulless. I'll keep being real.
Yeah, I'll keep being real for the thrill of it. Always the kid passed up, and I'll never forget all the differences between you and me. I grew up and I knew that I needed to get some balls of my own. So you can call me all the words that you want. That'll never change the way I see the world, cause you're of zero consequence to me or my family or my wife or my house or my life. All the things that I am that you want.
How come my boss always acting out and talking about the problems that the cause and the cash now with no intent to solve? Not compassion, just pass all the fabricated sad stuff, and all of us call all fascists. Y'all are so uncomfortable from your ancient shot to your trigger pulls. Your cocky name is copies on me face all night. About time y'all check my pulse.
To be honest, I feel bad for you. Special extended education was just a tool for slowly chipping away at your brain and your wallet. Now you're more in debt and you're more of a fool.
I'll be over here doing my thing, and when you're ready to talk, just let me know. Till then, just stay the hell up out of my lane or take your place back there, it's more comfortable, yeah.
I'll never take advice or critique from a guy that is less successful. Whenever they tell the lies, just to let it remind you you're right, just impress them. All your broken. You can see yourself. Since you just wanna be noticed, take your shit to show and tell.
I know you're scared all the other kids in the class might laugh at you like you've been doing to everybody else. So keep on being soulless. I'll keep being real.
Sure, keep focusing on me. I'll be right here doing the same. You can say that I'm a nobody. How come you know my name? Yeah, sure, keep focusing on me. I'll be right here doing the same. I know misery loves company, and you need someone to blame. Yeah.
Enough self-hatred to share with the class, but if nothing, you can just take that shit back on over to your little comfort bubble hole and hold it. Only show it when it's for last. I'm going insane and I'm molding my brain, and the yes element of pain is not enough to be dulling the pain that I'm full of from all of your fully automatic outfitted acts. So regression, oppressing the brains of the masses, attacking their literal common sense and getting offended by every word that you heard from the factless and feckless fake media fabrication that's making you out of zeros as you throw in the punches and holding the bats. I'm sorry, your life is not a comic book. In the real world, only the villains wear masks.
That's right. That's right. We are going to start off the show with a little shameless self-promotion for myself because that's how I roll. I've got a fun one for you guys today, and you know who it is already. That's why you're here. We're going to get into it. We're going to get weird up in here in just a minute. Before we do, let's kick this intro and give the people a couple more seconds to roll in here before we get spicy. So without further ado, let's do get weird. Here we go.
The following is a Goulash Media production. goulashmedia.net.
Remember a simpler time when it was okay to be weird, have fun, and think for yourself?
Well, those days are over. The art of conversation itself is dead. Sacrificed on the altar of divide and conquer and disguised as political correctness and spared feelings.
I believe that unity can only come from truth, and that the only way to find truth is by exploring and embracing our valuable differences and having civil, open-minded, and uncomfortable discourse. Conspiracies, politics, religion, and all the taboo topics your family just praise you don't bring up around the Thanksgiving dinner table. We are here to literally change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. So if you're easily offended, put your big girl panties on and buckle up, Buttercup, because you chose to be here.
I'm Dan Smots, you are the power, and this is The System Is Down.
That's right. It's The System Is Down. It's your place where you come to get your panties in a twist and your feathers in a ruffle. I don't know. It's a place where we talk about all the uncomfortable topics like conspiracies, politics, religion, and culture. And I have a feeling we're going to talk about all of those topics today. Before we get into that, I got to remind you guys about a couple things. Well, welcome to the show. I should take a deep breath and welcome you all in. This is your safe space for being uncomfortable, because being uncomfortable is how we advance as a society, and we're going to do that today. Before we get into all those things, I got to remind you guys about our sponsors, first and foremost being y'all in the Downers Club, like Mike Stonehouse, Lisa Debus, Cole, that's an easy one, Dickie Walnuts, Shannon Martinez, Stephen Hartman, Brian Johnson, Carolina B. Javari, Andrew Sitchling, Kyle Evans, Ryan Mortensen, Michael something, Mitchell something, John Odermatt, Howie Snowden, Brian McWilliams, Trenton Campbell, Lucas Riley, Mary Rum, Dustin Slinsky, Liberty Hippie, William Wells, and a bunch of other people. If you'd like to get your name on that list and get more weird, more raw, more offensive, more weekly content, bonus episodes, go on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/The System Is Down, and join the Downers Club today for as little as $5 a month. That is the cost of one single super chat per month, and you'll get hours and hours of content. So much content that you won't even want to listen to it all. But go to patreon.com/The System Is Down and have some fun over there. We are also sponsored by a few more things. They are here somewhere in my notes. Let's see here. Firstly, and secondly, because I already said it first, we've got the shirts up in the shirt store. We've got the new classic Let's Go Brandon shirt, as you are all familiar. I'm sporting mine today, actually, as you can see here. The fancy Let's Go Brandon shirt. And NASCAR is apparently threatening to sue people that use that slogan, so get it while you can. We've also got the Hail Meta shirt. If you don't get it, that's fine. You don't need to get it. I survived the Forever Purge, and all I got was this spicy flu and Soylent 19. The vaccine is people, because as we all know, the vaccine is people. And that's that. Get it over at thesystemisdown.com / what was it, shop? I don't even remember. Store. And get all the shirts that trigger all the right people in all the right ways. We are also sponsored today by The Royal Green, which I need to get a new title card because he has a new book coming out. But Jack Casey is an author, and I am even more excited about his new book than I am The Royal Green. He and I are actually having a chat this week. We might be collaborating in one way or another on it. But new stuff, awesome stuff coming from Jack Casey, who's got the balls to sponsor and support this show. Get all of his books over at theroyalgreen.com. And you can also get your free ounce of Kratom. I do not have my Kratom today, unfortunately, because I ran out and I have a new order coming in the mail. But if you would like to try it before the government outlaws it, because they're trying to make it just as illegal as heroin. Yes, heroin. You can try it for free now at freeounceofkratom.com. Get it while you can. Use the promo code TSID for 5% off your entire order and to let them know I sent you. But today I'm just stuck with a monster. And I know all the symbolism, all the devil stuff, I know. It's up to the United States Postal Service now as to how long I have to drink the devil's drink. But until then, I'll make do. Now, we are joined today, as you guys know, by a couple of awesome guys who have been blowing up the music industry at this lately, and they are these fine folks. We've got Hi-Rez off in the corner, and you can stay where you are. I'll adjust you here. Okay. Got Hi-Rez and Jimmy Levy. Jimmy Levy? Yes, that's what it was, right? Yep, Levy. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good.
Just came back from the gym.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Dude, I checked out you guys' song. Somebody sent me your song a couple of weeks ago, and as everybody in the country is doing right now, it melted my soul. And we're definitely going to dig into some of that, but let's get a little bit of like background history on you guys. Can you kind of you've both been doing this for a bit, but just started blowing up because of this song. So give a little bit of the back history on where you guys are at. And Hi-Rez, why don't you go first?
Cool. Yeah. I've been making music almost 15 years. I was signed to Sony when I was like 18 years old. I ran, the whole industry standard type of things you hear, all the stories you hear, the terrible management, the terrible producers, the terrible deals, the label situations, drugs, problems with that, touring, snakes all around you, all the typical things you've heard. Been through it. Overcame it, obviously. Started doing like pranks on YouTube, which is where I got like my true, I wouldn't say start, but that's where I got a bunch of eyes on me from my McDonald's rap. I did a bunch of gimmicky shit, and like it was genuine to me, but I knew what I was doing. It was gimmicky stuff,
Genuine gimmicks.
and it was genuine gimmicks. Like it was authentic because I don't take myself too serious. I'm not one of these macho tough rapper guys. That
Sure.
I don't think rap to me. Everyone's like rap's a competition. To me, it's it is what it is. It's fun, and that's where I kind of got my second start, I guess, my kick start. And then it would always promote the music. And then me and Jimmy met only like a year ago, just kind of virtually, and we made a bunch of music already since, and we put out music, and we're putting out more music this Friday, and it's like a match made in heaven. We feel like we know each other for decades already. So
Absolutely.
Big facts.
Jimmy, how about you? I know that you were in the American Idol scene. I checked out your clips there. That's pretty fascinating stuff. But what was before that? How did that go? And I mean, you've gone through, it seems like, several transitions in your not that long of a music history. It seems like. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I've been in the music industry for like 8 years. At the beginning, I was doing Vine videos. I was making 6-second covers, and a lot of like artists would repost me. And then that's when I decided to leave high school and do music full time. I started doing some like meet and greets and met a lot of social media people, and that's when I started making YouTube videos. And there was one point, because I was like more conscious about my way, I deleted like 150 of my YouTube covers, and then I had somebody that was very close with me, who's not here anymore, but she encouraged me to get back on, make videos again, and I got on a show called Best Cover Ever with Ludacris and BB Rexa. We got to the finals, and we were like the runner-up. They chose the other group, and then after that, I kind of went on my own, started doing music. I had a song with X come out, and then I put out my album, and then I did American Idol. I got to the finals of Hollywood on there. And then after that, I was hanging out in Hollywood a lot, and I realized it's not what I want to do. I wanted to stay myself, and saw a lot of dark things, a lot of blatant Satanism and things I didn't want to be around. And I kind of, changed my path and my course, and I started, believing in God and, just trying to stay on the good side of things, because I realized how evil the music industry is. And then I was like, what can I do for you? Because you've been always blessed me with like my voice, my talent, whatever, everything that I try to put my all to, it worked out. But I felt like now I needed to do something, and I felt like this right now, fighting against this tyrannical system, and now joining with Jess, with Rez, to make this empowering music for the people right now that, are looking around and seeing all their artists that are silent. We have to do this now. We have to encourage the other artists to come and join us in this fight.
Absolutely. And you guys both kind of touched on it, but like, what brought you guys together? How did you guys discover each other? And, you both had history already as your own selves, and this new thing together is what's really blown it up. But what was that matchmaking?
honestly, I commented on Jimmy's video like a year ago. Like he put out a video with Rick Ross, and I was just like, "Yo, this is dope." And we never even spoke, but just later on, I think like I DM'd him or he did. I don't even know. We just talked, and
well, you made a festival. He made the Freedom Festival. He brought all these freedom artists together, and that's how.
Nice.
I don't know how I forgot that. It's a whole ass festival. Yeah. So yeah, I booked it.
Yeah.
My girlfriend and I, who helps manage my day-to-day stuff and all the business behind the stuff and videos, a lot of the videos as well. She wanted to basically put on a freedom festival, which wasn't a right thing or a left thing. Obviously, more people on the right nowadays, as we know, are going to be more inclined to the word freedom and come out to a festival with American flags and shit like that.
Right.
But the concept and the reason behind it was just honoring the Constitution and loving your being like humble humility, like accepting and loving your freedoms and being grateful for that. And that was what the video the concert was about. We brought out Jimmy, we brought out Topher, Marine Rapper, Burden, Mises. We brought out everybody to the concert, and that's where I met Jimmy. And ever since then, we it was like you just feel like somebody. Like there's certain friends that you feel like you've known them for a decade. And that's how it is with Jimmy.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's awesome. Now, you mentioned these other guys that you're bringing out, like Mises and stuff like that. I know a lot of these rappers get the instant MAGA tag. Would you guys fall under that category? Have you gotten a lot of that lumping in just because you're, talking the? I mean, anything that's any right of Bernie Sanders is considered Nazis. So, what kind of pushback have you guys gotten in that department?
You first, Jimmy.
Well, I personally believe both sides are the Matrix. I have a song called Matrix too.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe being on either side, you're still being used as a pawn by the same group of people controlling both sides. I wouldn't consider myself one side or the other. There's certain people I like more. I like the character more,
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, politics to me is all BS. But yeah, of course they push me. Oh, this is a right-wing conspiracy theorist. They come up with whatever, and so that's my side.
Same thing. It's somehow I'm a Jew, and I'm anti-Semitic somehow. So I hate Jews now. I'm a right-wing alt-right Nazi. I hate Jews. I hate Hispanic people, Asians. I hate everybody according to the label that they slapped on me. So, and I hope somebody clips that out and just says, I hate all those people and posts it. That's going to be great. You know what I mean? Because then they'll at least go and find this clip and they'll be like, smart people, once again, will go and be like, I wonder what the context was.
Right.
The other people will be like, which brings us full circle as to what Jimmy said. Who can you get along with? It's not necessarily right or left, but those who are willing to go the extra mile to find out if something's true or not, if something is, legitimate, authentic. And like Jimmy said, the right and the left, if you're very, I was talking to my friend Zuby, and it's like Pac-Man, if you pop out one side, you'll end up on the other side. So it's all the same thing. The far right to me is just as close to the far left. It doesn't matter. There's a lot more people that are very still conservative, whether you're a more, reserved liberal or you're a more, toned down, because whatever it is, or a centrist or libertarian, whatever you want to label yourself as, there's way more of us in the middle that are willing to kind of, lean each way depending on the subject, instead of those that are just like, nah, I will die on this hill, to not agree with someone else that I think I hate,
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to go ahead and get this off the table. I know there's a bunch of people that are waiting for this, and I'm not going to spend the entire time talking about this, but you brought up libertarianism. And
Yes.
I do work with the libertarians, and I'm technically a libertarian or whatever. And I gave Tom McDonald a bunch of shit. We had a back and forth about libertarianism. So I'm curious, because a bunch of the people in the chat are libertarians at this point. But I am curious, you guys' thoughts, if you've dug into like libertarian principles, non-aggression principle, and stuff like that at all.
Yeah. Jimmy, you could talk about it after. I know Jimmy is slightly different when it comes to things religious-wise and God when it comes to politics mixing with it. Me, I would 100% identify as a libertarian. If you had to slap me, I'm close with Spike Cohen. We're going to be on his podcast in a couple weeks.
Nice.
And
I did all Spike's videos. I'm good friends with him.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I'm definitely the type where it's stay out of my life. Don't tell me what to do with my family, my body, my kids, nothing. I'll stay out of your way. I'm still pro 2A. I'm still all Constitution based. I still believe in God, obviously, but I try not to mix God and politics together. So I don't know.
Sure. How about you, Jimmy?
I agree 100% with what Rez said, but I wouldn't even put a label on it and give the Matrix the time of the day with that label.
Like taking the Tom McDonald route. Yes, I agree with you, but I'm not wearing the fucking name tag, I think is what he said.
Right. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I get that. It's all good. Yeah, it's just interesting to me. I mean, the labels for me are just a way of knowing like where you kind of fall in the spectrum. And even libertarians, it's a very wide tent and broad spectrum of autists that are obsessed with dorky stuff. But like there's really left leaning and really right leaning, and then there's straight, you know, all you libertarians. But yeah, that's enough on that. It might come back up. I don't know, but I had to get it out of the way because people are expecting it. I mostly am more curious in Jimmy, you've talked about, I think I have a clip here, or not a clip, but a thumbnail of a screenshot of something that you said. Concerts can be used as demonic rituals. Celebrities are on the stage like idols while hypnotizing their fans with dark vibrations. This opens a portal, allowing demons to manifest through the fans who take them home and suffer the consequences. The music industry needs Jesus. Now, before you say anything, because you might feel like I'm going to attack you on that, that's all the shit that I talk about here. So you're in good company here. But yeah, tell me more about that. And Rez, if you want to chime in at any point, let me know your thoughts if you go the same way with that.
That's all Jimmy.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, being around a lot of the people, I witnessed statues, and I didn't believe in anything. You know, I was always spiritual because my grandma was the number one psychic in the world. My mom, she was the number one love psychic. I never claimed the psychic title or anything. I did see ghosts or spirits throughout my life when I was a kid. But, you know, being around people in Hollywood and just seeing that they were so close to the devil and just really, really like you prayed to the devil and prayed for things that they wanted, did spirit cooking. I realized that maybe God is real, and that was the beginning, you know. And that's when I first like woke up. I was like, I need to just do good, and I need to start looking into this more, because if they on the rich and famous side of things are so close to the devil, and whether or not it's a placebo, real or not, like it's working for their success, and I'm seeing them do dark things. Whether or not, you know, you believe in God, you know good versus evil, you know dark versus light. Yeah. And I could feel the darkness. So I was I want to be on the light. That's how I started off. Now the way I look at concerts is completely different. I'm not saying all concerts, because, you know, there's
how about Travis Scott concerts? Too soon to tell?
I don't know. I'm not here to say about Travis Scott concert. However, you know, Travis Scott concert didn't look like, you know, rainbows and sunshine. You know, it did have his that could be his style, because don't get me wrong.
I'm talking about the 8 people that died at his show like yesterday.
Well, as far as the 8 people that died, I do believe that, you know, there was a sinister energy, because, you know, if there's the presence of God, there's protection no matter what. Even if they're injected, God, I believe, can protect that. Sure. There was definitely a dark energy, whether it was from Travis directly or from the energy of the certain type of people that were there channeling that energy in the audience. Sure. I don't know, but it was definitely something sinister going on that was not godly and that was not light.
To go off of what Jimmy's saying is, you know, even less so, you know, if somebody, once again, if someone, regardless of your denomination, if you believe in God, if you don't, what I've learned about, you know, since I've been sober and since I've, you know, I read something the other day, as soon as you stop thinking with your dick, you're going to see money times 10, shit like that. So as soon as, you know, so sobriety, thinking with your brain, all these things, right? Drinking water, working out, getting your life in order for the most part, from mind, body, and spirit, you're going to be in the right places at the right time. I was missing so many opportunities by getting drunk all the time. I was missing so many opportunities by partying, by doing this drug, but whatever it was. And then I realized, like, you know, woe was me, right? It was like, why did I miss this opportunity? Why did I make this amount of money? And as soon as I, you know, once again, as Jimmy was saying, you know, got closer to spirit, to God, to mind, to body, you know, all my stuff has gotten better as far as relationships, as far as money, career, and that's no accident. So that goes back to what he was saying. If that energy was like that in the concert, there wouldn't have been a death, you know, and if there was a death, it would have been way less. The chances would have been way lower, as opposed to people doing drugs, forcing vaccines, fucking low energy, you know, that crazy energy music, whatever you were just saying, that weird demonic sets, the light, all this shit, you know, it's not going to bring good. That's what we can all agree on, you know, so.
Sure. Yeah, and
It's a
it's interesting
frequency.
that with you guys kind of blowing up, and a lot of the people that are blowing up, like Tom McDonald and stuff like that, like there's all these people, like the counterculture now is to be not necessarily conservative, but more traditional, like not necessarily embracing everything that's going on and everything that's running rampant right now. You guys it seems like you guys kind of, from my small bit of super journalistic research that I did, seems like you guys kind of both came into this new spirituality thing around similar times. Did you guys know each other when you started having that transition each, or was that
Nah, we didn't
before?
know each other. That was, once again, that was God. And it's like,
That was
you
God.
know,
Mm-hmm.
like Jimmy, we talked about it earlier because we've been having our conversation as far as like we grew up aware of like in like our like I don't want to say religious households, but it wasn't like satanic or demonic or anti-God or any of that stuff. So, you know, tradition existed in both of our households, and spirit, as Jimmy said, with his mom and his grandma, existed. So these conversations were normal. So it's not abnormal for somebody, you know, like Jimmy or I to come into this more. It's just more of it matured over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And the issue with artists is like the difference between us having that tradition or spiritual background. We're going into the music industry with a better discernment of things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of artists, they just want the bag, they just want the money.
Yep.
So they're not spiritual, and those who aren't, I'm not knocking anybody in their own beliefs, but the truth is, no matter what, the blunt truth is, those who are not spiritual will be most manipulated by the spirit. And here in the music industry, it's ran by Satan. Like there's no doubt about it.
Right.
And they're gonna get you with worldly things if you don't have that
Facts.
discernment that we grew up with.
Like I believe, going off what Jimmy said, like I believe that is true in any area you're in, right? But if you're working for Sprint, you know, your temptation is a lot lower than someone like Jimmy or myself, you know, is traveling the world and drugs everywhere and women everywhere, throwing, you know, and all this shit, and terrible labels and terrible lawyers are trying to get you, and everyone's trying to get you in a shitty deal and put your back against the wall. It's very rare that you come across somebody who's like, wow, that's a great person with my genuine, like that's actually once in a lifetime. You don't come across it twice. You know what I mean? So that's why it's so important to have some sort of faith, whether it's in a religion, whether it's in your dad who you trust with your life. You need some sort of caretaker, somebody around you in this industry who's gonna just look over you, have your best interests, and it does. You know, people always say, "Oh, you need a manager like Scooter Braun." No disrespect, fuck Scooter Braun in this scenario because
No disrespect, fuck that guy.
I don't even know him, but just the only example I could think of off the tip of my tongue. That I don't care what opportunities you can bring me. I don't care who you know or what you do or how much money you can bring me. If I don't strongly, and he might have Justin Bieber's best interest, I have no idea. If you don't have my best interest at heart, my health, my mind, my body, my spirit, before my money, before my opportunities, before your money and your opportunities and your kickbacks, then I'm not gonna trust you. You know what I mean? And that's once in a lifetime. So
yeah. Now, you guys, on your track, This Is a War, which everybody knows, I would imagine. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out now. But I'm not going to keep bringing up Tom McDonald, but just because I had him on recently, and everybody here knows I love Tom McDonald. But Tom McDonald, I love him, but his stuff is a little bit more like specific to what's happening right now, and it's very like, you know, pointing out, very literal in a lot of ways, very well written, but a little less evergreen, I would say, than some of the ways that you write. Both of you. Like This Is a War, it can definitely be applied to the COVID stuff, or it can be applied to any tyranny down the line. But tell me about this song. How did this song come about? What was the message that you were kind of going for? Was it like strictly the COVID stuff, or more than that?
Jimmy, you go for it first.
I feel like we've always been at war. The majority of the people just are waking up to what it's been. It's always been a spiritual war. It's been written, but everybody now, it just became more obvious. So everyone's just waking up to what's going on. It's not only, you know, just the COVID stuff. It's everything. Everything has always been, they create the cancer, and then they build the fake institutions that look like they're taking care of the people that they created the disease for. You know, it's way more than just now, which of course they create the virus and then they create the response to it. And that's all some people are going to know, since the history of what really went down is going to be shattered for our future generations unless we use our voices. But, you know, it's always been that everything is fake and everything is created. All our personalities are created, everything, until we fully dial down and we always, even from a conservative standpoint, I hear the word indoctrination so many times. And what I always say is, you always use the word indoctrination to describe liberal indoctrination, but did you ever consider what you're indoctrinated with too?
Right.
On your end, your personality, the jock, the cheerleader, the everything, all 5 characteristics that they had as a basis for every movie was so that we take those personalities and play it out at home. It was another form of the same thing, like the concert, opening that portal. It's another way to open that portal. So we take those personalities at home and have divorces. They're manifesting it and using the magic to go to our neural networks to actually create that scenario at home.
Preach, brother.
Well,
Preach,
yeah,
Father
we talk
Jimmy.
about this in the war, so yeah, you're right. No, not that he did it. No, he talked about
that's
the meaning,
the war.
The specific track. Yeah, but the specific track now. We were in the studio. Was it the first? This is the second time we connected since the festival, I think, and we were in a little small room. And I told Jimmy, like, all I had was a line. All I had was like, yo, I want to just make a song about this, this war. And Jimmy's so good at just like shitting out hooks, bro. Like he literally just started singing this shit. Like, and always the first thing he does is what it is. He could come up with 10 more, but the first one, just like anything, it's that first instinct. And we already had the beat for the most part. It was kind of a rough version. And then he just started singing, this is a war on religion. Like, it was that simple. I know people love to like go back and like simplify it, but it was literally that simple. And then I just wrote the verse quick, and we honestly like banged out the record in like within an hour or two.
Yeah.
He wrote the verse in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I
I
wrote the verse pretty quick. Dude, it's easy working with Jimmy. Jimmy got crazy on the hook. Like like I said, I've been in this industry 15 years, so I've worked with people that, take away creatively, where it's like it feels more like a job. You're like, this is boring. Let me just get this shit over with.
Yeah.
And then, whereas with Jimmy, it feels like how it was when I was like 15 or 16, and there was no business involved. There was no labels involved, no industry, before streaming. And the only reason you were creating music was for dope music. So I wasn't indoctrinated, to this reality that we are in now, where it's like, yeah, every song I have to put out, we have to think about, is it good? Is it going to make money? Are people going to be happy with it? So, it kind of, when me and Jimmy create, it's kind of brings it back to before all those questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the COVID stuff, how has that affected you guys? Like, were you guys touring and doing all that shit before COVID went down? Has it affected you like financially in any way? And mostly like, what do you think this thing is spiritually, conspiratorially, any direction you want to take it, because it falls into all these categories.
Yeah, first for me, it hits close because I pushed my European tour. I had sold out Germany shows. I've been waiting, no openers, bro. Fully myself. This is something I've been waiting 10 years for, because I've been building a fan base in Germany for 10 years. They're some of my first fans since I was like 16, 17. Come to Germany. So 2019.
The Jew with all the German fans. That's
yeah, bro, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. The thing that's not amazing is that they won't let a Jew. Let me just subtly throw it in there. A Jewish rapper come over there without being vaccinated and testing and all this shit. So I could go public and be an annoying ass fucking snowflake idiot, but I'm not going to. You know what I mean? Because it has nothing to do with it. Yeah, but it sucks that, I had all these sold out German shows. I had sold out, I'm pretty sure it was sold out or close to selling out London, all these places. And they were like, come on over. They were just like, you're going to have to pay for your testing, all your team's testing. It's going to be out of your pockets. You're going to need to show every hotel that you check into a different test. So from city to city, train to train, country to country, because in Europe, it's like little states. So that's crazy that from Florida to Georgia, I would have to show some shit. I get it. Right. It's different governments or whatever, but it's such bullshit, bro, because they're not asking me if I beat COVID. They're not asking me to show antibodies. Is not a conversation anymore, Right. So it's like that used to be do you have the antibodies? Oh,
it was a conversation for about 6 weeks tops.
Yeah. But then they realized it took away from their monopoly of vaccines, of boosters, of prophylactics, of all the other shit they were selling us. But yeah, to answer the short, it didn't affect my pockets drastically because over the years, I never was really selling out shows. So my money from shows were kind of minuscule comparatively to my streaming or my merch or any of that shit. But it obviously affects it. That's still 20% of my rep, whatever it is. So it's kind of trash. But I'm not like home. I'm not like begging for money right now. Jimmy, take it away.
Hit him with a hook.
Well, I was already being screwed over, honestly. So it was just right when it started. I had just found out I was being screwed over. I was doing like writing sessions in person to make money and like hustling like that.
But this was good time for you to think, right? This was like actually you got
Right.
your career together over the last.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's actually I don't thank God because people passed away, but I do thank God that this awoke a lot of people. You know, this woke a lot of people up, and for me, it brought me closer to God. It brought me closer to a good place because I was in such a dark place. It allowed me to see who I should be around. It allowed me to cut my team 90% because my team wanted me to sell my soul, and they wanted me to, you know, do things that I didn't want to do and speak on things that I didn't want to do because they were only looking at their pockets and not
Right.
me being myself while being happy with a music career.
Yeah.
So, you know, all those things were supposed to happen, and I wouldn't have not have known how low people's, not even IQ. It's like I would have never, without COVID. I'm glad. The one reason I'm glad is because you could see who knows what's going on and who you should be around. Of course, you should, you know, help people wake up. There's a certain point, like you can lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink it. But like that's why, like I'm happy that I'm happy on that end. Like it was all supposed to happen. And then if you look at it from a written standpoint, you know, I definitely think it's a big time spiritual war. If you read Revelations, it really, you know, looks a lot like it. I'm not saying it's the mark of the beast, but guess what? It's the only thing so far that has been forced. And just like Revelation chapter 13, like it tells you you can't buy or sell without it. And it's like, I've never heard that we've had many shots, you know, we've had probably 75. But you know, this is the first one that you're held against your job or collecting your income for your family. So it's just, you know, it's definitely very spiritual. And then if you look even back further at that, you realize that all the CIA hired the Nazis here. Where did all the Nazis go after the Holocaust? They didn't die. Maybe 20 of them were in the Nuremberg trials or whatever.
The rest of them went to NASA.
There was an American Nazi party, man. There was an American Nazi party.
I don't believe in space, so
yeah.
I'm just gonna say
you're
that.
Gonna go off. Feel free to go off into a tangent with Jimmy.
Jimmy, you're talking my language, and I don't think we have time for that today. But I definitely want to dig into that comment a little bit deeper. But
that's funny, man.
But the moral is the Nazis from then are running our eugenics now, and that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Trippy times, man. It's trippy. When I love when people love to say, well, "What about polio?" I'm like, I don't remember them vaccinating the fucking world for polio, you idiot. Like, what about rubella? I'm like, well, I don't remember them saying that you can pass it, spread it, contract it, and keep it going after you got it. So all these, well, what about driving drunk? Shut the fuck up. That has nothing to do with it, you idiot. What about grandma? Protect your grandma. I'll protect mine. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So you guys have some strong feelings on COVID, eh? Huh? Is that what you're saying?
I have strong feelings on the effects of mandates, the effects of COVID, the effects of monopolizing the world through Amazon. Like, and that's where the far right and far left, you know, you pop out one way is I could agree with socialists when it comes to, I don't want Amazon to run the world. I don't want trillionaires to monopolize society, but I love the free market. I want people to have a chance to become those billionaires and trillionaires. So it's a, you know, devil's advocate, obviously situation, but I have a strong issue with the way government has handled it, including, you know, Trump initially. You know, I'll give him a slightly more credit because it was such a new thing. But I'm not a fan of Operation Warp Speed. I'm not a fan of any of that shit. I'm definitely not a fan of mandates, shutting shit down. 2 weeks to slow the spread turned into 2 years. Garbage. Anyone that's still on the side of like government telling us how to live our lives is on the wrong side of history, and I will die on that hill.
Clipping that shit. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's the same that we've been saying it since the beginning of it. Since the 14 days to flatten the curve was, you know, halfway done. We were like, this isn't looking right. Something's up here.
Nope.
And I don't know what it is. I don't know if I take it to the level of like satanic stuff or whatever, but I mean, I do in my brain, just whether or not I'm willing to say it out loud. It seems pretty obvious when you've got like, you know, everybody lying for a living. Like how many people are doing that right now?
Look at Dr. Fauci, bro. Dr. Fauci is doing Disney Plus docuseries. He was like, Guardian's sexiest man alive or some shit. And it's like, imagine this guy, bro. Imagine like they're like, Fauci, we need you. And he's like, sorry, I got XXL today. I can't save the world. You know, I got to
doing
talk
a documentary shoot for
today.
Disney. Yeah.
It's like, bro, like what kind of bullshit? And the fact that people aren't like people always say to me, not all the time, but the idiots that are still accepting that blue pill, they're like, just leave it alone. It just don't. Why do you care? I care because I fucking care. Why do you care that I care? I don't care that you don't care. Why the fuck do you care that I care, bro? I'm mad that Dr. Fauci has time to do a docuseries with Disney, and what's the guy from New York, the Cuomo.
Yep.
Yeah, Cuomo. This guy wrote a book on how to beat coronavirus, and we're still in coronavirus.
While he was killing like 15,000 grandmas in a nursing home.
Killing all grandmas and shit, and then Fauci's doing a docuseries on how he beat AIDS and beat coronavirus. Yet AIDS is endemic, and so is coronavirus. You did a terrible job, Fauci. You evil leprechaun fuck.
Amen. I couldn't say it better myself. And while we're getting kicked off of YouTube, and on that topic, I am curious, what, as somebody who's kind of made a little bit of his career, like I know YouTube rapper is kind of a pejorative to some, but
that's cool.
To some degree, a lot of your success has been from YouTube. Mine has too. Who cares? But as somebody who's kind of, a big chunk of your influence is there, do you have any concerns about, like, I noticed even on some of your songs about coronavirus and stuff like that, you put at the beginning, like, this is a joke, please don't ban me, basically at the beginning, like, this is not to be taken seriously. How do you feel about so many eggs being in that YouTube basket at this point?
Luckily, once again, for me, for streaming is my bread and butter. But like you said, that's synonymous with anything. It can what can happen on YouTube can happen on Spotify, can happen on Apple, can happen anywhere. Yeah, it's scary, man. It's kind of startling to know that we have to live in. We're in America. I get that these people love to say, once again, those idiots that for some anti-fascist, but they defend big corporations. They're shills for pharmaceutical companies, but they're anti-fascist, but they're yelling at you to not have free thought, whatever. So yeah, it's strange when people say that, where it's like, well, it's private companies, they can do what they want. I'm like, bro, this surpasses the private company, level.
If a private company works in tandem with government to suppress your freedom, then that's government. That's just a different arm, and a tiny arm, and a little branch that has impact outside of elected officials.
So it's startling to me. I haven't seen my money go down because, like you said, well, even Tom's doing well. So I don't know how he's been affected in that aspect. But I kind of try not to tell you like COVID's fake, don't get a shot, don't wear a mask. I don't say any of that shit.
Right.
Sorry, I'll get you demonetized in this one now from saying it on yours.
It's all good. Hey, I was demonetized way before COVID. It's all good.
Okay,
so got nothing to lose here except our channel.
Yeah, it's strange, man. It's obviously scary, but full circle again. I'm a Jew. I know lawyers were planning the world domination, as some people on the far right like to tell us. So, I'm good, bro. I have lawyers. I know exactly what I have to put, the disclaimers, and if YouTube or fucking or Google, any of these people want to come after me, we're good to go, bro. My uncle was a lawyer. My girlfriend's dad's a lawyer. I'm sure Jimmy knows 10 lawyers. My brother's a lawyer. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Jimmy, any thoughts?
At the end of the day, whatever they're gonna do, they're gonna do, and we're not doing it just in case they might remove. We're doing it for the people. So we already, I personally gave up millions with record deals because I didn't want to do certain things. And if I already did that, God, the way I look at it, God or the good will bless me. I don't need the evil. I don't need to give into that.
Nah, facts.
Yeah, for sure. Are you guys on any of the like Odyssey or Rumble or anything like that, like as backup? Because I know I have mine set up for Odyssey, and I know the CEO of Odyssey and library and all that. You can set it up your YouTube, so anytime you upload something there, it ports everything over to Odyssey, and you don't even have to think about it. So just in case something disappears, I recommend it to everybody. But
yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, so let's see. It's funny. I had some things down here to discuss, some topics, and my wife Jimmy, she was digging into your Instagram for the last month or so since she found you guys, and because she's into the conspiracy stuff and the spiritual stuff and all the stuff that you talk about as well as I am. But she sent me the screen grab that I pulled up here, and she was like, maybe save that for like a bonus conversation. I was like, nah, we're opening with that. That's our opener, honey. You know what this is. But, just the satanic rituals and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Bro.
That's my bread and butter. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we're starting with that. So.
That's right. But Jimmy, you also have on there this story about you and your mom getting kicked off a plane. Do you wanna talk about that a bit? Want to share that story?
Yeah. Well, I always go on JetBlue, and still they actually have not contacted me or my mom with anything, which is weird. But yeah, I always go on. I travel with them my whole life. I'm 23 now, and my mom was pulled her mask down to eat her candy bar, and
What
the
was the
lady
candy
came
bar? I have
over.
to know if it was worth it or not.
It was the Reese's Sticks.
Oh, that's worth it. That's worth it.
That's borderline.
I'm,
It's borderline
I'm a
content
peanut
for
butter
you.
Yeah.
chocolate guy. That's
I'm a
worth
peanut
it.
butter and chocolate guy. You don't need those sticks in there. It's just a waste of space.
That's true. That's
Yeah. But yes, so the lady came, she's like, "Can you pull up your mask?" She's like, "I'm chewing." So then she just decided to pull up her mask and chew with the mask on. And then the guy comes and then he's like, can you get off the plane to my mom?" And then I like got up with her, and then he's like, "We're gonna be removing your mom from the plane. Do you want to go with her?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then to me it was weird because it's like it was so, regular, like for them to do. It's not like we're like those crazy people that are screaming on the plane like the
Right.
truth, like, while everyone's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"What is
yeah.
this
Right.
conspiracy?" And it's like some very like calm, like my mom was like chill, like, and then my mom gets loud like once we get off them. It's like, "What the heck?" Like she's like freaking out. Obviously, anyone would do because she was literally just eating. And then they try to gaslight her, and they're like, "This is why we took you off the plane." I was like sitting there keeping calm. I was like, no, we're not gonna do this.
Of course, the part Jimmy's leaving out is where she turns the Reese's sticks sideways, makes them into two towers, and flies a tiny plane into them and says 9/11 was an inside job. And turning the freaking frogs gay and all that fun shit.
Oh shit, Reese's Gate, dog. That's funny.
So you got kicked off,
I mean,
and then she got angry,
They
and they
flew our
tried to
bags.
gaslight you for it.
Yeah, they flew
Yep,
their
and
bags.
then
They wouldn't let them get their bags.
they illegally
They held your bags hostage.
illegally flew our bags. Yeah, that's
That's
illegal.
crazy.
Sin-
Did you ever get them back?
Since that ritual. Yeah, we got it back when we flew back to Florida.
Yeah, it's nuts. The whole thing is nuts, and just I don't know, like you don't need like when you talk about like conspiracies and shit like that. Everybody's like, well, obviously, to fake a moon landing or to fake this or to fake that, you would need like thousands and thousands of people in on. That's obviously impossible. It's like clearly we've proven that's not the case. Like if you can,
Right.
if a couple of people can convince everybody that they are
Right,
doing a
right.
moral good, then they will attack their
Right.
neighbors. They will attack their clients. They will,
Yep.
attack anybody in their vicinity because they have this
No, it's true.
fake power now to lord over people. So it's crazy, but it's like Alex Jones was right about everything, I guess. I don't know. Like I didn't want to live in that world. I don't want the crazy shit that I talk about to come true, but here we are.
Yep.
So
Right, dude. It's crazy.
how else is this kind of seeped into you guys' like daily lives? Where are you guys located, if you don't mind sharing?
Jimmy's in Miami,
Florida.
Aventura, like Miami. Yeah, I'm in Orlando, so we're in Florida. We're back and forth, South Florida, Central Florida.
So you got that forever purge, huh?
Yeah, man, dude. It's the way it's seeped in, man, is every
Did you see the DeSantis attack ad, the forever purge video?
Yeah, this is the fucking greatest ad ever. I was like, this makes me want to vote for DeSantis 100 times in a row.
Right. It was like a
You
pro
know, it was
DeSantis
like-
SNL
They were
sketch.
like, oh, it felt like a protest. It was literally the craziest thing ever. They were like, do you hate freedoms? They're like, it's like, can you believe these people are not wearing masks and
Right.
they're going on beaches and going to churches and living their lives? Don't vote for DeSantis. Like,
Yep.
who was like, wow, you're right, whatever. But yeah, as far as Florida, man, and as far as seeping into our daily lives, I think in general, if you're a red pilled type of dude, you know how that life goes. Like, it's like Thanksgiving turns into like you're being ran by pedophilia, sex, reptiles, like
Right.
that's everything now. So it's every day. At first it was kind of like draining. It's so draining, but now it's just kind of a part of the normal. I don't know if maybe I got programmed to be like talking like that and yelling at people now.
Yeah.
I don't really know, but every day, me, my significant other, whoever, Jimmy, my trainer, whoever it is, we're just like, yo, so like, do you think this is true? Yo, do you think that's real? Yo, do you think this is good for you? You think that's bad? So every day, that's just the conversation now. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's not really as draining as it was like a year ago. So I don't know. I hope this shit ends one day. I'm not saying I want to go back to like this blue pill lifestyle, but I hope one day I could be like, yo, did you check out the Giants game? Like,
Right.
fuck, man.
Or did you look into that conspiracy theory about giants? Like there was a time when we could dig into like the fun shit like that, but now it's like we're just
Right.
living it instead. So we're kind of all
Right.
focused on that. But
Yeah. What about you, Jimmy? How
Yep.
has it seeped into your life? How has this energy seeped into your life?
I feel like, the satanic artists are like watching, and they're like, every time I say something, like they're like freaking out and like trying to, they're like calling each other like, we have to stop him or something. I really think this is happening.
Bro, well, I know that's true because yo, if you've ever seen someone who whether they hate God or unknowingly whatever it is, like if you just came across somebody who's actively like, atheism is one thing, agnostic is one thing, but to make that like your religion, like God isn't real,
Right.
you know, it's almost counterproductive, right? So when Jimmy comes across somebody who's like this Satanist or whatever that just, you know, actively hates God, you know, not this libertarian way where, like you said, you know, hey, maybe I don't believe in God, maybe I do, live and let live, do your thing, it's not hurting anybody.
Right.
But when Jimmy comes across somebody who's like an active, you know, you just see it in their eyes, like they detect like this positive light radiating from someone like a Jimmy, and like they just like they start freaking the fuck out. It's like throwing holy water at somebody. So I know that shit is real. Once again, whether it's good energy, bad energy, like that's how it is in the industry. When Jimmy's posting all this shit that would have been called crazy, you know, because only one person would agree, or 10, now half the world agrees. So it's like, oh my God, you know, this really is the Great Awakening, man. And I don't know where it goes, where it ends, where it leads, but the fact that this is common conversation right now, and it used to be, like you said, it used to just be Alex Jones conspiracy theories, and we could kill his character and write him off, and now it's like it's just normal. Now it's like people have conversations at the dinner table, and white preppy suburban girls who drink Starbucks are like, oh my God, I think Pizzagate is real. You know what I mean? It's like, it's nuts.
And that,
man.
then now we're kicked off YouTube. That particular topic has gotten me banned a few times.
Yeah,
It seems like
if you
YouTube doesn't
get
like me
banned-
making fun of their boy Jeffrey.
If
so.
you get banned from this video, I will personally sponsor some future videos.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it. But Jimmy, also, I did want to ask, like you talked about some of the stuff that you saw in Hollywood, and you know that lifestyle. Is it just like, you know, the symbolism that we used to be able to find on YouTube, and you know this person had this thing mounted behind them on this concert or whatever, is just like symbolism, or like literal things that you actually witnessed and experienced? Were you invited to like the Eyes Wide Shut parties or anything like that?
Yeah, he was. For sure.
I went to a few parties. There were some that you had to prick your finger to get in, so I didn't go.
Are you
there were
serious?
others that were.
Yeah, bro, he's not joking.
Holy shit. And this is before COVID. Before you had to be pricked to get in the door.
This is before COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Sounds like programming. But no, there was one that was a Halloween party. This was 3 years ago in the hills. And there was a spirit of Jezebel that I would say now. But it was this really beautiful girl. She was walking around, bringing people upstairs one by one. There was security at the steps. And I'm watching because I've always been an investigator. I don't know. Because I'm programmed that way because of Sherlock Holmes and Goonies, and that character built up in me. That's that program. But I was like staring at her, and like she finally, like after bringing a few people upstairs, she like looked at me and came to me, and she brought me upstairs. And when I go up, I see all these women in their bra and panties sitting together on the couch, and there were like 4 bowls that they were all either using, or I don't know, because I was kind of drunk that day, and they were all like sitting in front of 4 bowls with drugs. They were pink bowls. And I look over to the right, and I see like smoke coming from under the door. And because I didn't like think about those things, I was like, oh, this is like a Halloween party.
Right.
Oh, this is like a haunted housemaid or something. So I open the door, and I see all these old I see all these old men standing, like I think they were naked in a circle, and then this kid,
I think
like a young kid.
yeah, they were naked.
Yeah,
it's hard to forget. It's hard to forget.
yeah. And then this kid like runs out, like a young kid, and then runs down the steps. And then that's when I felt like a bad energy, and I went downstairs and I told my friends we're leaving.
Well,
shit is real, dog. Shit is real. And bro, this is the first thing I never even told Jimmy this. When Jimmy like first I met him, and like, you know, we dove further into it, he was like, yo, I just got in an argument with Seth Rogen. And I'm like, yeah, right. Like whatever, like he would say, just in general, whatever it is. And he'll elaborate in a second. But in general, like I've heard so much bullshit in the industry that I'm like, yeah, in my head, I'm like, I nod at you and I'm like, yeah, fuck off. Yeah. And so I've realized ever since he's proven to be correct, that one time that sounded outlandish, everything Jimmy says is correct. It's not a lie. Jimmy, it's not built in his DNA to lie. So all these things that sound to somebody like, oh, he's making that up, or that's weird, or I don't get it, or I can't wrap my head around it, you know, it's all legitimate. So just to go off that shit, yeah, maybe he forgot if these weirdos were naked or not. Maybe because he didn't want to look at grown man penises. But see, now I'm actively trying to get you
it's all good.
demonetized.
Dear YouTube, everything we said here is a joke. We did this all in Minecraft.
Yeah, we don't believe all this shit. But
yeah.
Jimmy is the shit he says is authentic and real. So believe it. Believe me.
Now you are actively trying to get me kicked off. I'm like, yeah, it's a joke. And he's like, yeah, but it's real. It's also real. But cool. No, it's all good. I'm not worried about it. We've talked about way worse. But anything else on that topic, Jimmy? Anything else you experienced? Because, like Rez, as you pointed out, I was going to say, like, I'm sure most people are listening to this and they're like, obviously this guy's lying. And I've had a lot of crazy conspiracy guys on the show. And sometimes I'm like, they're probably lying. Is there anything else? Anything else? Because this is the most fascinating shit to me ever. And this is, the stuff that's most, this is way more important for me to expose, I think, than, what your political leanings are. So if you got anything else.
Right. There's a lot. I believe in ghosts or spirit 100%. And there's some things that I keep between friends, and I have to talk with the ghost. This sounds weird, but I have to talk with my friend's ghosts more to see if I should expose this thing about the person, because it's not my job. But I saw people, that ended in a good way, that got saved and got better. But I saw people that did a lot of dark magic in order to get their success, and paint on the walls with blood and things like that. And I would just kind of watch and what they thought I was learning for when it was my time to get big. But I'm not going to say the names of that, because that I keep between friends.
Sure. And ghosts, obviously.
But to be honest, his overall point, man, is
some of them passed away.
Yeah. But in general, his to his point is these artists, a lot of the times, it starts off like we're trying to be edgy, and they don't realize that you're playing right into the hands of not only the industry, these negative evil powers to be, whether it's Satan, whatever you want to call it, if you could put a name to it, you might think you're being edgy and cool and funny, but you're playing right into the hands of this demonic shit. And they're going back to the Travis Scott shit. He might not know that all the symbolism behind him means anything. He might just show up and be like, yo, I get to smoke weed and rap. This is sick. I get to fucking drink and make money. Cool. Jimmy always says, it's a ritual. He knows and I'm trying to, but just to dial it back is a lot of the times these artists are in the wrong place at the wrong time. They're good people. They just have terrible people around them. They have no good guidance. They don't believe in some sort of faith higher than themselves. And it's sad, man. It's sad. But all that shit is very real, man. That especially starting in LA and Hollywood, and not just, the city of Hollywood, but, the industry that kind of comes behind Hollywood. And, when I was out there too, when I lived out there, and me and my girl, thank God we have a strong relationship, but this shit was definitely tested, man. With the amount of times, it's so weird. If you go into the hills, you have the FaZe Clan, what used to be the FaZe Clan house, which is the video game kids, and those are my homies. Mm-hmm. And then next to it was the Pornhub house, and in what world do professional gaming nerds, and I say that I'm a nerd too, and get to just hang out with adult stars, and we all know what that transaction looks like and why it's going on, but it's in what world other than some demonic satanic world does that exist? That doesn't exist in with God's help. That shit is weird, man. And
all the nerds are out there hey, motherfucker, we finally got a shot here, and you're walking in here calling it satanic.
Once again, it's cool, man. Do your thing, get your rocks off, do what you do, but at the end of the day, it's your job to mature. Most of these kids are 19, 20. When I was 19, 20, 21, just same with Jimmy, doing drugs and, the whole rock and roll lifestyle. Right. But it's if you don't come to that realization, whether Jimmy wants to talk, whether it's Jesus, whether it's being saved, whether it's spirit, whether it's any denomination, if you don't come to some sort of level of maturity where you realize this is the healthiest lifestyle for my mind, body, and spirit, even if it means less money, then, you're not going to live a long life. I realized that. Jimmy realized that. We both have had near-death experiences. We could have died. We've been in that industry where whether it's self-imposed or from an outside source, and that shit is real, man. That energy is real. And, I suggest every artist kind of, start thinking about that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, your next track coming out this weekend, I believe, is Welcome to the Revolution, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is you guys' latest collaboration together, and tell me, what is the revolution? What is the path forward? Like, not just this song, but what's your plans for this release and things to come in the near future?
Go for it, Jimmy.
Well, Welcome to the Revolution is all of us coming together, all of us breaking the matrix, all of us realizing that everything we were taught was a lie. And, the illusion of a reality we've been presented our whole lives has been false. And we're all coming together in the name of love and breaking the matrix and fighting this revolution. We had the counterculture in the 60s that was, used by satanic artists that were huge and promoted Satanism and disguised as love and peace. But we're actually doing something that's against the satanic system or the dark tyrannical system that's fighting against humanity, trying to enslave them right now. And that's the revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
Riz, anything on that?
Welcome to the Revolution this Friday. We'll probably drop the video this Thursday. And Jimmy and I already have a few other collabs, penned down, ideas penned down. We'll probably do like an EP or something. And I don't know, we've also been dabbling in the idea of doing our own tour where it's like fan funded, and it's kind of like, imagine like the most, like he was talking about, like hippie sort of thing where it's not even in venues and we're going from park to park, place to place, just kind of, preaching the word of Jesus. No, I'm just kidding. And
bringing actual soapboxes and megaphones.
That's Jimmy's thing, man. Not to make light of it. That's Jimmy's thing, man. And Jimmy has brought me closer to God, and I've brought Jimmy closer to God as well. And it's kind of, we feed off that as well. So that energy is real. I'm just playing games, but honestly, what our thing is to go around and preach positivity and love and open people's minds to something bigger than themselves. And like Jimmy said, that's what Welcome to the Revolution is about. Is questioning everything. Trusting nothing, not in a cold-hearted way. You gotta trust your family members and your friends and people that you love, but just opening your mind to questioning everything that you were taught, and that brings us to drinking your own pee. So no.
It had to come up. I don't even know what the inside joke is, but the one thing they said we couldn't talk about is drinking your own urine, and here we are. It's a good full circle that doesn't need.
Soon they'll learn the truth.
Doesn't need to be explained, I don't think. I would say, so are you guys good to, we're going to do like wrap up and all that stuff, but we're pushing an hour. Are you guys good to stick around for just a little bit longer and do some bonus for our patrons?
Yeah, let's do a little bit extra, and then we have some food downstairs waiting for us.
Word. Okay, so maybe we'll talk about some urine over there. But give me, you guys, first off, thank you guys so much for being here. It's been awesome having you, and the work that you're doing is phenomenal, and I can't wait to see the next stuff. But give like final thoughts, final like words to the people or anybody who's like walking through their blue-pilled lives. I doubt they're listening to this show, but final thoughts for anybody and where people can find each one of you. Rez, I'll let you go first.
Okay, cool. Yeah. First of all, fuck Fauci.
Amen.
He can kiss my balls. And yeah, man, you can find me at Doc.
That's your message to the blue pill people. Yeah, just fuck off. No, go listen to my music.
Yo, so yeah, like I said, it's kind of full circle, man. Question everything, man. Question why have I voted this way for so long and my life hasn't changed? Why do I think voting the other way will be better for me? Why do I think voting at all will be better for me? I'm not one of those guys. It's like, don't vote. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters, but I'm not going to actively like tell you to not vote. Cause like I said, I think it's important to vote for a guy like Spike to show the importance of a libertarian party. So I'm not going to say don't vote. I think it's important if you're conservative, sure, vote conservatively. If you're I think these one issue voters, it's so dumb. It's like, I vote this way because I'm gay. I vote this way because I'm black. I vote this way because I'm white. I vote this way because I'm from the South. I vote this way because I like basketball. Oh, this is fucking stupid. It's like we're not that black and white as a society. You know what I mean? So it's like, people just kind of take a step back, look at shit, on a more micro, macro, I don't know which one. Just look at it on a level that you haven't been looking at it at, and don't take shit at face value anymore. And then that's my message for y'all. And fuck Dr. Fauci.
That's right. And your website is what again?
Onlyforthefans.com.
Onlyfans.com.
Not to be confused with OnlyFans, although we will every merch that we sell, we will include feet pictures from a Polaroid as well, if for an extra tip. But right now, no snakes in my circle.com. That's where you get no sheep in my circle.com. So yeah, go there. That's where you get the official one. None of that Chinese bootleg bullshit that they stole from us, and it's all over Google right now. This is an original design, and it's all over Amazon and everywhere else. And people are like, "I bought my blue hoodie." I'm like, "Bitch, I don't sell a blue hoodie. What the fuck are you talking about?" So it's like, yeah, nosheepinmycircle.com. Yeah, man, and welcome to the revolution this Friday.
And you guys can get the
Jimmy
No
and I-
Sheep in My Circle shirt at the systemisdown.tv/store in about a half an hour. Go check that out.
Exactly.
Jimmy, give your final thoughts, give your plugs, and we'll jump on over into bonus.
I think you put God. I don't think I know. You put God first, and everything
Right.
will come together. Everything
Facts.
in your life is God is in control, and don't fear. Don't be scared of anything because things are about to get very, very bad to the eye on the physical plane. We're going to see a lot of people pass away in the next 3 to 5 years, but with God, you keep at peace because that's what God wants, and He's going to control everything as long as you put faith in Him. And that's it. 100%. You got to be at peace. And the second you have fear, you're letting Satan take over you. That's
Facts.
Right on. Where's the best place for people to find you, Jimmy?
Oh, the best place is Instagram, Jimmy Levy, or Twitter, Jimmy Levy Music.
Right on. Well, guys, thank you again so much for being here. Let me wrap this up. Just hang tight. But, yeah, you guys are always welcome here, and keep doing the great work, guys.
Thank you.
Nice monkey.
Thanks, dude.
Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for enjoying this lively and lovely conversation with us. I know a lot of you have been saying, hey, shut up about the politics stuff and get back to the conspiracy stuff. I didn't necessarily plan it this way, but as I said at the beginning, we were getting into all of those, and we might dig a little bit deeper here in the bonus. But if you want the bonus, go on over to patreon.com/thesystemIsDown and sign up for the Downers Club today. And if you're in the Facebook group for that, we will be streaming the bonus live there in just a moment. So stick around and enjoy. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thank you for supporting, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, oh yeah, should be Wednesday. Checking out Dave Chappelle, hanging out with Josh Smith tomorrow night, and we're going to Dave Chappelle's documentary screening on Tuesday. So we'll be reporting on that probably Wednesday at 2 o'clock, our typical time. Until next time, guys, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Peace out.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. goulashmedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.